Oh dear. So the old Datsun's been sitting around for the last year now with this Barra sitting in it, and the original plans for this were to put a single overhead cam motor in it, and turbo, of course. Now we've gone Barra. I've had the Barra sitting around for a couple of years now. I've had it sitting in here for the last 12 months. Took the original motor and gearbox out, and I didn't lose interest. Life just gets in the way. I'm trying to save to buy a house, but it's getting to the point that's just sitting here in the way, and I want to make it happen. So I'm finally coming back to YouTube, and I'm going to be doing something with this piece of shit soon. So for now, I'm just going to piece together the bits of video that I got to get to this point, which isn't very much. It's not mounted in there. It's literally just resting. Resting against the firewall and front cross member. Well, we know it's not going to fit, but let's have a look. Done. Yeah, this sort of highlights some of our clearance issues. Obviously, I've still got the bracket on here for the stand, so we're a good sort of 8 to 10 inches out there from the firewall. So I say after. Stop it. After like 5 years of just talking about this, it's good to see it actually kind of doing something. I was kind of sick of just talking about it, and it was always one of those things that I wanted to do, and it's kind of starting to happen, and that's fun. So it looks like I'm going to have to go high mount with the turbo. I thought, considering this thing doesn't have, strut towers, so to speak, because of the torsion bars, I thought it might be right for clearance for the turbo. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to run this turbo on the Datsun anyway, and this is the stupidest brake booster I've ever seen. It's just, I don't know why it sits out so far from the firewall, but might have to do something about that. And yeah, we're probably going to need to go sort of high mount with the turbo, because as you can see, we're sitting a few inches up at the moment. This kind of highlights the need for a rear sump. Obviously there's just no room for that big fella to sort of sit here. But yeah, it is exciting to see it come kind of into the engine bay. It's at least like a quarter in there. Stupider things have been done, I'm sure. Still kind of ridiculous, but I took the engine stand bracket off, and I flipped the manifold because I thought I was going to have a lot more issues with clearance here. Obviously the engine's not sitting very low, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do in the end. I think I'll use a different turbo with an external gate. I'll have to use like an adapter. Obviously we need to drop the engine considerably in the front, which the rear sump should help with, and then obviously bring the engine back a few more inches, so we're going to need some pretty significant firewall clearancing. The engine needs to come down a long way. Alright, so the engine needs to come down Another, say, 21. Another 21 centimeters down. Yeah. Now it looks like even with a front sump, even with a rear sump, we might still have some issues. That is gross. Classic bloody power steering fluid everywhere. But it looks like even with a rear sump we're going to have a bit of an issue until we get behind this cross member thingy. I flipped the manifold back up the right way to see what it would look like. So obviously if we're going to manage to drop this thing another 20 odd centimeters, the clearance that we do have, we're going to lose. But as I've said before, I'm probably not going to use this turbo. In fact, I'm pretty much certain that I'm not going to use this turbo on this build. So, no stress then. I was just interested to see how we're going to go for clearance. Well, finally taking the dash out in preparation for cutting the firewall and trans tunnel. It's one of the easier dashes you'd take out. 3 bolts across the top, 2 on the sides, 1 in the glove box and one about there. While I'm here, I'm thinking I should take out the old column shift linkage. It's not really doing anything. Or I just leave it there out of pure laziness. Fair bit more stuff has to come out before I can actually access the firewall. And the heater box is out as well. Fairly simple again. Just worried about the width. So I have handbrake assembly sort of mounts there, which is possibly an issue. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Doesn't look like there's a lot of room to like relocate the handbrake. I've just thought too, I'll probably have to take that oil filter off to get the I'm not obviously doing a fluid change right now, so I don't have another filter for it, but if I'm going to spin the thing upside down, I want to get rid of as much of the oil volume as I can, so I'll need to take the filter off and drain that and then probably pop it back on, just so that when I upend it we don't end up with a bunch of oil up in the head. So I don't know if I get a really good shot of the engine bay with nothing in there, but see, obviously the BA sump pretty much just either rests on this front cross member or down on the sway bar. So that's no good. I'm just hoping that we're going to be afforded enough clearance to bring the motor down with the FG sump. If it's still not going to work, the next option I'm going to look at is to do a body lift. Because it's a body on frame sort of construction, I can put an inch or two of body lift in and then wind down the torsion bars to bring the the body back sort of down to the ride height I want. So essentially I'll just do stuff. You get me. So I'll be lifting the body up so that when I cut through to make clearance here, I don't really want to go into the plenum and then have to lose all my wiper linkage. So if I can get some body lift in it to allow clearance just to cut in here rather than cut in up here somewhere, then I can bring the total body back down in the suspension with the torsion bars.
It's a theory anyway, but we'll see how far the FG sump gets me. Anyway, at the moment, just going around, I've just cracked all these little 8mm. There's a million of them around here. Then these ones, I believe, come out. I think they tie through to the inside the block. I think they're going to come out. I've never had one of these off. I've taken one sump off in my life, and it was a Commodore V6. So we'll see what happens. Need a new balancer, but we'll get there. At the moment, I'm not modifying the FG sump at all yet. It's going to need the oil return for the turbo sort of sorted out. They've got the casting's pretty much there, so you can pretty much drill that out and tap a couple of holes here for a factory sort of flange, or you can just sort of drill that through and then tap it and just run a regular sort of barbed fitting and thread it in there. Now, I'm not going to do any of that at the moment, nor am I going to put any kind of sealant on the FG sump when it goes on, because it's just going on at the moment just to check for clearance in the car. So nothing's kind of permanent at the moment. I'm just going to kind of stick it on there and just bolt it on and just see where we end up for now. I don't have a lot of time between work and renovations and stuff and family. It's a bit hard to find time to play with this thing, so I'll just do what I can for today and size it up. One thing to be mindful of, these front two, I guess, are going to be a lot longer than the others. Okay. So now, hopefully I should be able to price the thing up. Either it's sealed good or I'm missing something. I'll get back to you. Well, it turns out I'd missed a bolt. Plus, this thing. Oops. I better have a good look around before I keep trying. Sometimes I'm stupid. Shh. Alright. Don't know what this bullshit is, but I think it was junk that was on the sump, and when I took it off it kind of tipped on. I'm hoping that's the case. Rest in peace, little guy. So here's my mad FG sump. Now, I got this thing from the wreckers, of course, with the pickup. I asked for the windage tray because I'm pretty sure people normally swap this out with an FG1. And I spoke to two gentlemen at the wreckers that had no idea what I was even talking about, or what this part was, or what it'd done. So, and then they couldn't find one. They had two engines there that they were still attached to. One was complete and the other one was minus the sump, but it was up on a rack and they need to fork it down and everything, and they said come back another day, give us half an hour and a bit of notice and we'll get it sorted for you. So I'm gonna see if I actually need it. I don't know if I can use the B series one. Also, dipstick is a thing for another day. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm missing. Two of these suckers. So temporarily I think I'm going to try to just swap these two around, and at least it will hold it there for now. Looks like that's going to be the only issue though. So there's probably just two of these ones on the FG. On here there's only the one. So I'll have to get another one of those sorted out. But at the moment, we're just going to try to flip these so it'll kind of stay in place and just mock it up. Okay, so I'll just do the old switcheroo there. Like a gosh darn glove. And that'll do for now, we're just mocking it up. So, whack the bolts in there, and then nut on that stud, and then I'll put the actual sump on. Well, that was a failed experiment. FG sump does not fit. It fouls on the side of the windage tray up the front end. Back end sits on alright, but definitely need FG windage tray, or you need to cut this one down significantly on the edges, which I should point out, but I put the sump back on. Now you know. So I'll have to go back to the wreckers and get that. Frustrating. So there's the FG windage tray there. See, obviously it doesn't have the dipstick location. I don't know where that normally goes through. There was a hole. No, that's just for the... thought that hole was it, but it's just clearance for the pickup. There's a few other differences. Obviously, the end's opened up on the B series one, as opposed to that. I forget where the dipstick goes through. It might just come through sort of here, or I don't know. It does something, but you can see if I line up the bolts roughly, you can see a difference in width there. So that would be why the FG sump doesn't clear with this one. These aren't all torque to spec or anything, they're all just roughly on there. And the sump itself will just be loosely bolted on. Just roughly bolt this on, just so we can pop in the Datsun and check for clearance. I forgot to get any more video at this point, but this is where it sits at the moment, basically. It's about as good as it's going to get until we cut into the firewall. So that should happen when I can be bothered. Now I've made this video, I'm kind of committed to the cause. I got to get back into it, so soon, hopefully. Back to the video. Still got the big bad XH that picked up my mate's XR6 turbo motor. This thing's got no spark at the moment. I've changed the coil about 5 times. I've changed the TFI module, I've changed the distributor, and I've lost interest. It's still registered and I will do something with it. I want a turbo diesel, swap it with something. I know that's stupid, but I want to do it and I don't care. Or Barra swap. One day. I need time. Time is something I don't have a lot of, or don't utilise well. I have a family now. I haven't been on YouTube for a long time. I've got a little girl, she's 2.5 and she's beautiful. She takes a bit of time. This is my friend's BMW. I don't know anything about BMWs. Oh dear. Corrosion. BMW turbo things. Hopefully my mate decides he's keen to get back into this. He started buying parts and then kind of life gets in the way as it does. Also, a mate of mine's building a built Barra at the moment for his BA turbo. Different friend. That'll be fun. Might get some footage of that. But seriously, turbo diesel, XH Falcon. Wouldn't it be cool? I'll never do it, but I'd love to do it. I've done a lot to this thing to get it ready for a roadworthy. I did consider filming it, but I don't know, it's not that exciting. Like, it is, but it's not. It's exciting for me. I don't feel like it would make exciting content, though. Anyone want to buy a Hilux?
used to be a fuse box here somewhere, I think. Apparently it caught fire. So that is where I'm at with this piece of junk for now. A lot has changed on YouTube in the time I have been away. There is a hell of a lot more creators now, especially in Australia, which is really cool to see. Lots of people doing Barra things here and even in the States. Now I have a pedal for this and a loom. I have the bits and pieces to make a loom. So I've got the plugs and the pedal and the OBD2 port, and I do not have the know-how to actually make the loom, but I would like to do it myself, and that's why I've gone that route. And I'm cheap. So if I can't figure it out, I'll just have to buy a loom. But if I can figure it out, I would like to document that, because I would be really happy if there was a video on YouTube that explained exactly how to make a basic Barra standalone loom. So if I can figure it out, I will document that and share that. I will not tell you to like and subscribe because I'm not your real dad, and you can make your own decisions.